There's a lot of, I think there's a lot of confusion and misrepresentation, too, to be fair. A lot of it's through ignorance. Some of it's just through people just trying to be contrary. And, I don't know. I'm not a fascist. So if I believe in something, that doesn't mean that I just demand that everybody else believe the same thing I believe. Or if I practice something that I find fulfilling or study something or anything like that, I don't feel that any one thing is the ideal, ultimate approach, way to look at everything, and that everybody else, if they don't acquiesce and comply and live the way that I live and value the things that I value, then they're stupid or they're an idiot or they're some other derogatory, unintelligible, related kind of remark that people make when they don't have an intelligent alternative perspective or point to make. That's diminished equalize. Again, happens everywhere. Diminished equalize. Diminished equalization. Anyway, so being that I'm not a fascist, I don't care. I don't care how you train. I don't care how you eat. I don't care if you believe in a God or you do not believe in a God. Or I don't care what kind of politics you practice in any regard, across the board. The politics all the way from just how you treat your family unit, how you move about through society, and how you view things and how you just live. It's totally on you. I am judgmental when people cross the line and how they want to live is harmful to other people, directly harmful to other people, then, or that they know it's harmful even indirectly, but yet they don't care and just think that they have the right to continue onwards, even if they're oppressing or harming somebody else. I do have a problem with that. Other than that, I'm a grown adult man, and I don't care. I have various opinions on matters, but they don't. I mean, certainly there are ways that I think a grown adult man carries themselves and conducts themselves, and I have like a wide diversity of living life experiences in lots of different places in the world that kind of just the totality of which have established in me what I think, how I think a man carries himself and conducts himself appropriately or not. And I think if you're a grown man, by the time you're 40 years old, man, by the time you're 40, hey there, if you're still acting like a kid or something, some of that stuff's best left to adolescents or lesser developed people, I guess. That's just my opinion. No, I don't care. It's just my opinion. I don't socialize with people like that. They're not part of my social circle by any means. By any means. I don't have negativity around me like that. I don't invest in those things. I don't invest in people that are of that nature. And I don't have the time. You know what I mean? Time is limited. You have a certain amount of time, set time. That's it. You're not going to get one more hour. When time's up, your ticket's expired. Nobody knows when that's coming, right? Most of the time you don't know in advance when that's coming. Having that perspective and realizing that you really don't, does two things. Hopefully it makes you remember to be grateful every day. And it also, you understand that you're responsible for the life that you live, for living your own life. And your life is made up of seconds and milliseconds. It's not just made up of months and years and decades. because you don't know for sure that you have all that. So, the time I'm here, I'm of the mindset that I want to be cognizant of the vibrations I give off, the example that I set. I think that if every man strives to be a leader, in other words, instead of just talk the talk, like I've said before, walk the walk. People can't lead people by just being loud, screaming, hollering, abusive, or abrasive. For one thing, people who have actually been places, men, they see through that shit, man. You see through that. It doesn't fool anybody. You don't really carry it like that out in the world every day in your social interactions with other men. You'd be incapable. You'd walk around with black eyes and cracked nose and all kind of things, just consistently, regularly. Because there are guys, there are men that, good. Some of the kindest, gentlest, most compassionate men that I know are also, some of the most potentially hardened, battle-tested. So I would say my advice is don't burn up those milliseconds and seconds and minutes and days and weeks and months and years of your life by investing in people that all they're doing is peddling negativity. And that's in real life. It's certainly in YouTube fitness for sure. It's a cesspool. It's a freaking cesspool. But that's insignificant. You can just turn that shit off or choose not to watch it. Or not even to frequent any channel that's what they're bringing. That every single video, that's got to be some kind of. If you're making, no matter, you want to tell people something's positive, or that you're positive, or that you're trying to do good, or you're trying to benefit people, but yet, if every video tears somebody else down, or every video demeans someone, or every video has a derogatory tone to it, if that's the only method that you have to try and get your point across, if that's the way you communicate, I know damn well you're not walking around in the real world like that. Unless you've never been anywhere around men. If you have, you didn't behave like that. Not like that, not with that frequency, not like every time you see your mug you got something negative to say, something disingenuous to say about another person, another man especially, or anybody. But you wouldn't be welcome in society. You can't conduct your affairs that way, but you see people do it all the time here. So people are phony. It's a lot of fake shit, but a lot of people can't differentiate between that, reality and YouTube land. But I would recommend that you don't invest your time, your life, in people that are peddling this kind of nonsense. For one thing, it's pervasive. If you steep yourself in negativity or in a negative environment, and maybe a lot of people sometimes find themselves feel like they're caught up in a negative environment, they're surrounded by negativity, and maybe they feel like they're drowning, they can't get out. They don't see a way out. And there are people, I see situations, I've known things and been around things, and where you may find yourself in that kind of position at some point in time. And if you do, then for your own sanity, you need to find a way out of that. It's like imperative. The road to happiness, isn't paved, upon cobblestones and negativity. You're going to find them sprinkled here and there. Nobody's perfect. We all fall short, but it's no way to. Shouldn't be the whole road that you're walking on. And again, I'm not a fascist. If that's what you want to do, then I don't think it's against the law. I mean, I think you can go ahead and do that. It's not my job to police anybody's morality or behavior. And I wouldn't want that job. I wouldn't want anybody to have that job. You know, like I said, if you're not physically harming anybody or whatever. But it does cause harm. You can't get rid of the negativity. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. But if that's all you do, if everything you do in your recreational, so-called quality time is that you get off on endorsing or negativity, that's, whether it's in television shows or YouTube or music that you listen to or human beings that you surround yourself with. Maybe you practice it yourself. Maybe you're one of these bullies that our entire no bystander mentality stands directly in the face of, directly in the way of, as an impasse, literally, in the real world, literally. So that's the difference between YouTube and the real world. There are consequences in the real world. And I think that a lot of the negativity that's dispensed on YouTube, these people are portraying caricatures because they're in front of a camera. Maybe they've never gotten that kind of attention before, that they think it's something that makes them somebody special and they need to uphold something, or they need to display something that they're under the false impression makes them a man, portrays them as a man, or equates to manhood or manliness or whatever, I don't know. Whereas me, in here, we're kind of the opposite of that. Like I said, we all fall short, and me too. But YouTube, I have time to turn the camera on, set it down, and think about what I might talk about, and then just get into it. So certainly, if I could not resist being negative and just tearing people down when I made videos, then what am I like in the real world? Walk around like that? What kind of people would want to associate with that? We're the opposite here. The things that we do in the real world, I don't even video. It's not for public consumption necessarily, because the majority of the public, they don't see the people that I see. They walk over them and they walk through them and they walk around them and they look at them like they're ghosts. There's one guy who's extremely successful now. Extremely successful. He owns one of the biggest, most famous tattoo studios in the country, and he's been all over television. He's a well-known guy. He's the editor of a huge international magazine that's widely known, very well known, and he's also an internationally renowned oil painting artist. He does oil paintings. He's incredibly successful, but 15, I guess now it's probably been maybe 16 or 17 years. Maybe if he sees this, he can correct me or fill me in. He was homeless. He was a homeless addict on the streets. And he told me that he's a gorilla with a cause all the way, man. And he told me that the one thing that stands out that he'll never forget ever, I mean, there are many things, but the one thing that really stands out is that he felt like a ghost, that feeling that he was a non-entity, that people didn't see him, just looked straight through him when they looked at him. Felt that he wasn't even worthy of acknowledging that he occupied a space. But look at him today. Today he's literally an icon. Anyway, that's all. Just Independence Day here in USA. Early morning, having my coffee, sitting outside. There were hawks out here screeching. Those hawks are so noisy. They screech all day, but I don't hear them now. I just want to say that be mindful of your life, that this is your life. This isn't pretend, man. This isn't pretend. Your life is, it's real. And if there's entertainment value for you in trolling people and just going to, anonymously going to people's channels and just making derogatory remarks, and that entertains you, or that there's value for you in that, that out of all the things you could do with that moment in time that you're living of your life, you're not costing me anything, it's your life you're burning down, that's something to do, that is absolutely pathetic. And I feel the same way about any man. That's all he brings to the table. If all he brings to the table is negativity, and he's trying to build something on that. That's what he offers. That's what I'm bringing. That's what I have to offer the world. One more dribble of shit in the swirling commode of modern day life. Anyway, you guys have a great morning. Stay positive. Eliminate the negative, and be happy, man. Live your life. Do the things that have substantial, incredible value to you. Be a man or a woman that those who came before you and are no longer with us would be proud of, and would be proud that they instilled something somewhere along the way in you that was worthwhile, and that you carry that. That investment still exists today. It pays dividends because that's how you interrelate with other people, and you share that. And you, so by doing, spread it. Be a good representation. You can elect to be that. You can do it. Your life will be enhanced for it. I can promise you that.